Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's early afternoon here in New York. I am Laura Mazzotta. I'm an Akashic therapist, which means that I've been a therapist for over 15 years. And I also read the Akashic Records and provide energy healing services to therapists, coaches, and healers who are really looking to shift any cycles of chronicity or patterns of negativity or doubt or difficulty in their lives. So take a moment and share this out. I'm actually going to share it to a couple of places. Say hello if you're joining. I would love to know that you're here and spending time with me today. And a little bit later, we're going to get the opportunity to have you guys ask some questions for the Akashic Records. And I'm happy to answer them because I'm in the space of the records now. So I have one more place to share this, and then we are good to go. All right, so I hope everybody's doing well on this Tuesday afternoon. I have done Akashic Records Masterclasses in a few different locations, a few different groups and pages on Facebook, and it was time. It was time to come live on my personal page and give you guys some of this fabulous information because I've just been called to reach more and more and more people, particularly therapists, coaches, and healers, because that provides a wider impact, right? That if they get trained in this, if they have information about how to access this space, then more lives are going to be changed and transformed and aligned. So it's just a beautiful tool. It has completely changed my life, and I want to share it with as many people as possible. Hey, Dawn, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Pamela, there you are. I was just going to tag you, so I'm glad you showed up. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Hi, Tammy. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. And if you've already seen an Akashic Records Masterclass, then welcome back. I did do one in Room for Healing, which is my free Facebook group where a lot of people are really eager to learn about themselves more, about healing, about their next steps on their path. Hi, Mimi. Hi, how are you? Hi, Beth. So good to see you. Oh, thanks, Dawn. I so appreciate you being here. So what are the Akashic Records? What I want you guys to do first is in the comments, let me know if you have never accessed your Akashic Records, give me a 0. If you have accessed your Akashic Records yourself, I want you to put a 1 in the comments. And if you've had somebody else read them for you, put a 2 in the comments. Because it's very different to go into your own records versus getting a reading from someone else. So I'm just curious as to kind of where we are. So even if you're on the replay, let me know what kind of experience you have with this. This is a skill that I would love to shout from the rooftops so that everybody has access to it. So, all right, so what are the Akashic Records? The Akashic Records are, I liken them to a spiritual library, okay? It's kind of like Google for the soul, right? Which is, if anything you would type into Google, like a question you would ask, you can ask for the Akashic Records. But the one thing is that the Akashic Records don't really respond well to yes or no questions. Okay. So what I usually do for my clients is I shift the phrasing, and as you practice in this space and you get used to it more often, you're going to learn how to phrase and ask questions and really get the most information as possible out of this space because it's infinite. The possibilities are infinite. But what's beautiful is that you're never going to get more information than you're able to tolerate or integrate at the time, which is such a gift because that's why it's so good for therapists and healers and coaches, is because we never have to worry about that information that's coming through being something that's going to really make somebody unstable. Or because sometimes when we give feedback as therapists, we need to be cautious, because we need to take into account where is this person in their life. Okay, we don't want to bring something up from the depths and then have them really rocked so much that they can't function, right? So it's beautiful that we have the option of using this space, which is very unconditionally loving and gracious and delicate, okay? So the Akashic Records, like I said, it's like a spiritual library. So if you picture this library up in the clouds, it is manned and housed and kept safe and secure by spirit guides, ascended masters, loved ones, archangels, spirit, however you envision spiritual beings, okay, that are on your side. And when you go through a ritual to open up your record, it's like these guides are taking the book of you off the shelf, opening it up, and it has all of the information about your soul from its first incarnation until its last, which means we can access past lives, current life, and future lives. So pretty much anything that you want to ask, you can ask about. You can ask about ancestry. You can heal all of these connections and situations in your past life. So what I'm going to tell you guys is some ways and how we use the Akashic Records, okay, and how they can benefit you. Let me just check in here in the comments. Okay, so we have some zeros, we have a 1, we have a few 2s. Pamela, you've never had a reading, my friend? You need a reading. Hi, Emma, thanks for being here. Right, so anything that you can think about needing an answer to, which is, all right, what food is best for me versus how do I get out of this space where I'm feeling funky or I'm feeling pain or negativity, or how do I guide my child in this area, or what am I supposed to do for work? What is my purpose in this world? Am I ever going to have that relationship that I want? That's a yes or no question, so we'd have to rephrase that one. But you know, think about all areas of your life. You can access them in the Akashic Records, okay? So this is why for therapists, coaches, and healers, it really helps aid in confidence as well, because you always have, it's like you have this spiritual supervisor all the time that you can access to say, hey, I don't really know what direction to go with this client, or, you know, I'm feeling really like I'm having trouble with boundaries with this client, or what have you. And you're always going to get that feedback that is best serving the highest good of all, which includes you, your client, your family, the world at large, right? Because we are all energetic beings. And so anything that we say, do, think is a ripple effect, creates a ripple effect. So Dawn says, what's the best way to learn the thing? Meaning the ritual, is that what you're talking about? The best way to do that is to either, like, there's a lot of people who offer individual readings. I do as well. You can join a reading and get an individual reading, which means that you're going to have a recording that you can follow and access over and over and over again to practice opening your records on your own. I actually have a group as well, and I know Kara Melendi has a group, Spiritual Goddesses Sisterhood. Mine is called Evolving Woman, where on a monthly basis we meet a couple times over Zoom and we open our records. I teach you lots of different ways that you can use the records, ways you can heal in the records. And another way is through coursework. So I have a course that's actually starting in a couple days, and it's a 5-week program, and it's certainly the cheapest way to learn your records, because basically we're going to be entering them for 4 weeks in a row. The first week is a lot more background work, but and so you get taught how to open the records, you get taught how to use it, and then over the course of the next 4 meetings in that course, you're going to learn different ways to use it and heal and kind of guide yourself through it, okay? So there's lots of different ways that you can learn that, but what's beautiful is that you do it once, and then you have the ritual and you have access to that space all the time. And some of us access that space in different ways, right? There's a certain ritual that I learned from Emily Harrison at the Akashic Academy, but people are downloading new ways to access the records all the time. And there are times that I can access the records kind of like that, just because I've been in that space so much. So it can be very individual. We're all working with source energy, whether you're talking about Reiki, whether you're talking about the emotion code, quantum healing, theta healing, it's all pulling from the same infinite possibilities space, right? So it's just a matter of, I mean, I do appreciate the sacred ritual around the Akashic Records, because I feel like it's time we're setting aside for ourselves. We're offering this very sacred space for ourselves to really get to know ourselves better, to understand ourselves better, the people around us, and approach things with more compassion and love. And just being in the space of the Akashic Records provides us with healing, because it's such a high frequency space. Sometimes I'll just open it and sit there and take what we call a light bath, where all of this light just kind of pours through, and we can direct it however we'd like, but also trust that that healing energy is going to go wherever it is we need it most in order to move forward, okay? All right, so the way that I think this is the most productive for coaches, healers, and therapists, is because it really expands our intuition. I mean, I've always been a very intuitive person, hence the job that I went into, right? And always very in tune with people and able to connect and sense things. But since I started working with the Akashic Records, my clinical skills and my ability to help and guide others has skyrocketed. I mean, skyrocketed. I am picking up on little nuances of energy before it even hits their nonverbal behavior or comes out of their mouth or their actions or anything like that. I am able to access that so fast. I can see it from miles away. And so it's beautiful because I'm able to efficiently and effectively help people much quicker than if you're just using traditional therapy. Now, I love traditional therapy, obviously, because that's what I do for a living, but it only attends to one layer, right? I've been in therapy on and off my whole life, and it's helped me to a degree, but it hasn't helped me fully, because the only way I know that is because now that I'm doing this work with energy healing, with Reiki, and with the Akashic Records, the level of, I guess, depth that I've gone to just blows my mind. And the level of transformation that I've had is a place that I never thought I could be, ever. Now, I was motivated to do this because of physical illness. I got very dangerously ill about 3.5 years ago. So I was motivated by that. But I've also had anxiety and off and on depression my whole life. And so I really just thought, this is something I'm just going to have to kind of deal with and go in and out of cycles and manage. And the level of happiness and confidence and freedom and clarity that I feel now using this space, I never could have imagined, seriously. And when I started it, I was a super doubter. I was a super doubter, and my husband was rolling his eyes at me like, what are you doing? You know, and then he said he could see very obvious shifts in me. So he said, listen, I don't know what you're doing, but it's working, and it's working beautifully, and you're happier and healthier and more confident than I've seen you. So keep doing whatever you're doing. So obviously I'm a full-on believer at this point, my friends. And now I just want to shout it from the rooftops and let everybody know that this is a skill that I promise you will benefit everyone. Whether you're in a place of feeling crappy or you're just feeling like, you know what, I just want to tweak things a little bit. It's like you have that mentor, that guidance system that's entirely objective. And not only that, has the greater mission in mind, and knowing like, this is what I know you need to accomplish in this world. This is why you're here, is to do X, Y, and Z. And with that in mind, I am going to guide you gently and compassionately toward what it is that serves you best at this time. Okay? Hi, Dave. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you watching. Hi, Tony. Okay. Why is it hard when asking 2 questions in one within the Akashic Records? So because we call that in the therapy world a double-barreled question. We're taught that in grad school. Don't never ask a double-barreled question because it confuses people, okay? Like if I ask somebody, so how was your weekend? How are you feeling? Right? Which one are they going to answer first? And they're going to then mesh them together. And I'm not getting a very specific, honed in answer. So if you want a very specific answer, you want to be as specific as possible with your question. Okay? Because the records are going to give you what you need to hear at the time. Like for instance, if I go in there and I ask about my son and say, oh, I need guidance on how to help my son with blah, 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 blah. I'll get some message about like me opening up my heart space or me, going for a nature walk, which seems completely unrelated. But the records are saying, listen, this is the work that you have to do in order to be in a space to be able to handle that situation you're asking about, right? So that's why we need to be as specific as possible, because they'll kind of pick up on the energy around that question or the area in which we're asking it. And then it's going to get muddied for us. And we're going to be like, well, which one does that apply to? Does it apply to the fact that, I'm supposed to help my son, or does it apply to me? So you really want to get clarity. And honestly, it's mainly for us because our egos like clarity. Our egos like answers, right? The Akashic Records knows that the Akash, spirits, the universal energy, they're going to send us energy anyway. And they're going to try to nudge us and shift us anyway. But we need that answer because we're stubborn humans and we like to have a specific, concrete, stepwise progression of how we are supposed to achieve certain things, you know, and it's good for us to kind of sit back and just allow ourselves to receive from the universe and from the Akashic Records, what do I need right now? You know, and just be in that receptive space so that we're not trying to be so controlling. Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you. Oh, hi, Denise. I'm so glad you're here. That's exciting. Hi, Megan. Hi, Christina. Okay. So Christina, try to get a little bit more specific with your question. What do they want me to do? And while you do that and you guys start to post, I am going to just tell you a little bit more about things that you can use the Akashic Records for, okay? So, one of the things that I think it's helped me the most in as a therapist is not getting burnt out. Because when you reach that point where you're like, oh, I have to really think about, you know, how I need to move forward with this patient or whether I should refer them out or this, that, or the other, you know, there's really there's no more questioning about that kind of stuff. Like I don't have to sit there and rack my brain and work so hard to be like, okay, let me analyze this case and think about all of the different theories and all of this stuff that comes into play, right? I can sit down and access my records and get that higher level wisdom of where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do, which just helps me conserve my energy so that I'm not racking my brain or reading a million books. And trust me, I still read a million books. I usually have about 15 started at one time, and I just love books. But it's not as stressful. The energy behind it for me is much calmer. It's so much calmer because I'm able to just say, oh, I know this answer. I know it's within me. I know that I have a soul level answer for this, and I will get there, right? And so then I can go into my Akashic Records and get that guidance, or even just that feeling that I need to feel to be able to move forward with ease and flow. Okay, so it's a really good way to prevent burnout, to really prioritize yourself so that you are taking care of you and healing you first and foremost. It's also really helpful to open up your Akashic Records before you go into sessions with clients. Because if you do that, you have access to that higher level wisdom, but you know what's even cooler is that you are receiving healing at the same time that you're offering it to other people, at the same time that you're accessing this. So it's like you're giving yourself self-care and like rejuvenation and a reset at the same time that you're helping your clients heal. So that idea of, oh, I'm a therapist, or oh, I'm a coach or a healer and I feel drained, I'm an empath, so I get drained by other people's energy or other people's negativity, that doesn't exist when you're in the space of the Akashic Records, because it's infinite levels of abundance, infinite levels of energy, really. That's the number one thing for me personally, that every time I'm in the records and I leave the records, I feel like $1,000,000. Like I feel I have so much energy. And if I do it late at night, I'm up for hours because I'm just like wide awake. And that's helped me a lot from a physical level since I've been struggling with chronic illness for a few years. So that's such a beautiful thing. And we all need energy, especially those of us who are in a service profession or a helping profession. Okay, so if you go into the records and you feel like nothing's coming through. That happened to me the first 2 to 3 months, really 2 months, I guess, that I practiced and learned about the Akashic Records. So I went in and all I could see was like the color purple. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this has changed people's lives. Like this really isn't giving me much. So, you know, you do have to be fairly acquainted with some of the clairs, intuitive practices like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, which means that sometimes we are going to see things come through the records in the form of images, colors, symbols, scenarios that we might be watching play out in our mind, okay? Sometimes it's going to come through in things that you hear. Sometimes it's sensation within your physical body or in your emotions. And it's something that was clearly delineated from how you were feeling prior to entering that Akashic Record space. And then you start to feel this pain or this discomfort, or you start to have, you know, trouble breathing into your chest, or you start feeling really anxious or really angry or something. All of those things are going to be cues for you that you're receiving a message that you need to attend to or look further into and explore. There's a lot of just sitting there and just kind of waiting. You'll see it as I play it out in a little bit here. That sometimes messages come through very randomly. And what's beautiful is that when you're in the records, it forces us to let go of that ego mind and to really just go with whatever comes. So if I'm sitting in the records and I see like a boulder and I'm like, well, why the hell is there a boulder here? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. My cognition, my ego mind is just going to shut that down and be like, that doesn't make any sense. But if I don't see it and embrace it and follow the story of the boulder that they're bringing to me, I'm not going to get the message I'm looking for. So it's really helpful for us to let go of that control and just trust and allow whatever comes through. And this is true for any intuitive work and any energy work. So if you're familiar with that, this is going to be something that comes more naturally for you. Okay. But what I did was I would sit in the records for those couple months and not a ton would come through. And when it did, it came through writing. And that is something that I encourage, is that when you guys are in the space of the Akashic Records or trying to channel or tune into universal energy in any way, and you're having trouble with blocks, you can just write and just let it flow, automatic writing. Not thinking about what you're writing, but just let your hand go on the page, okay? But you can also remove blocks in the Akashic Records. So when you're in there, if you're having trouble with accessing information, you can heal and remove the blocks that are getting in your way. So that's another thing you can do. You can open the Akashic Records of anything: animals, crystals, objects, locations. I opened it for my office, opened it for my home, get an idea of the history there, of some of the energy that still exists there, the energy that needs to shift, steps that I can take as a soul to modify that space, to thrive and expand in that space. Let's see. I really use my body as a tool a lot. And I think a lot of the reason I do that too is because of the physical illness. And so I've used the Akashic Records a lot for physical healing, you know, and channeling into certain areas of my body. But I also get messages from my physical body while I'm in the records. Okay. So the other thing that they use me for a lot, which I really, really love, is I think it's because I'm a therapist, I get a lot of very concrete downloads from the Akashic Records, like very specific steps and including timing from the Akashic Records. So they'll say like, oh, and tell this person like in 3 months, this is what's going to happen. And then they need to do this, 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 and this. The reason I like it is because it makes people, it calms people down. I mean, it makes people feel better because we fixate so much on the how. And although I would like to say that really, I want us all to let go of the how, okay? The steps of how we get to a certain place are not necessarily important, right? We just need to allow the universe to send us those messages and follow the cues at the time so that we will trust that we ultimately get to where we need to be, okay? So, all right, I'm gonna check out some of these questions. I've seen a lot of comments coming in and I have not been attending to them because I was trying to get all that info in for you guys. So I'm gonna try to take these in order. If I missed you or I'm going in the wrong order, please let me know, because there's a lot of comments here and I'm probably not gonna be able to get to all of them. I do have a meeting at 1:30 Eastern, so I will get through what I can. Sometimes things come through very quickly and it's like, boom, they got the message right there, done. And sometimes it takes a while because they'll build like a picture in my mind, and it completely depends on the person, you know, and what they're dealing with at the time, how open their energy is, etc. Okay, so let's see. Christina, just saw your question. Okay, so Dawn, question, what else should I look at for location with moving? Okay, let me tune in for you, Dawn, and see what comes through. They're showing me palm trees. They keep showing me palm trees and sunshine. I don't know if you live in a warmer climate right now, Dawn. For some reason, they're saying that they really don't want you to be near water necessarily. Like they want you to be further from the coast. They feel like you being near a body of water is going to add to some volatility emotionally, just kind of like feeling less settled, feeling less even. and that's going to kind of make you feel a little bit more, I guess unsettled is the best word, or unstable emotionally. You're in Iowa now. They really want you to be somewhere where there's sunshine and palm trees, my friend. So I don't know if you're thinking of moving somewhere in Iowa, but, and again, this is not something necessarily that you need to move to right now. Let me see what they're saying in terms of timing for you. Oh, that's interesting. They're saying this is like a temporary thing for you. So they're probably referring to like a vacation. I don't know if you have anything planned, but they're saying that you're going to go on vacation somewhere like that, and you're going to become really attached to the energy of that space, and you're going to feel really good there. And what they want you to do is just to really tune into how you're feeling when you are in this space, because they feel like you have a lot more energy, expansiveness when you are in this this warmer climate, that you're kind of holding yourself back and sitting in the density by being where you are. And that they understand that the timing of that might not play out right away, practically speaking, but they really, really want you to tune into the physical and emotional and energetic feelings that you get when you're in a warmer climate like that. Because that's what's really going to light you up and where you're really going to blossom. So that's what they're saying. So you said, I want to go south at some point, but from where I currently live. So you can let me know if you're looking into, just moving into a different home or a different county or something like that. And then I can give you more specifics. That's why the more specific we get, because otherwise they're going to come through and they're going to be like, dude, move to Florida, or like move to the Caribbean or something. And you're like, no. I meant right now. So be as specific as you can. Okay. All right. And I will check in with that in a little bit. So all right, Christina, what do they want me to do now for my best future? They want you to lay in a hammock, apparently. They're showing me you in a hammock. Let me just continue to watch this, okay, my friend? They think that you're really particularly attached to the how, and like finding these specific steps and concrete things that you need to do. And it's like you're forcing them. Like I'm feeling a lot of forceful energy here, and they really want you to just kind of like lay back and go with the flow, hence the hammock. Like they want you to allow more because you're not trusting enough. Like you're saying you're trusting, but you're kind of dipping in and out of trusting and trying to control things. I mean, welcome to being a human, right? But they're saying specifically for you, there's a lot of forceful, like obligatory energy behind it. And because of that, you are almost like pigeonholing and narrowing your vision so that you're not seeing as much that's coming in for you, and that you're going to get more abundance to flow in whatever area, right? Like energetic abundance being, it could be financial, it could be love, it could be energy, right? Like literally like feeling energized. So let me see if you're commenting here anywhere. Hammock sounds good, yeah. So they really want you to sit back, and let me see what else they have to say about that, because there's one more thing, I think. Okay, so they're saying that like you're doing all of the right things, but the reason that they're showing you in the hammock is because you don't love yourself enough. Like it's almost like the hammock is there to provide you with this hug, this like hug to yourself that you're not offering yourself enough of. That like you're doing the things that you think you're supposed to do and checking them off your list, but it's more a checklist. Again, it feels more forced and obligatory, and it's not something that you're really feeling into and appreciating and enjoying and just loving yourself. To every cell of your body, to the crappy parts of you, to the neutral parts of you, and the good parts of you, because they are all the same. Okay, so that's what they are saying for you, Christina. Donna Miller, I don't know how to pronounce Aitken. Is it Aitken or Atkin? Donna Atkin Miller. What is best for me to focus on for work, change in daily activity. Okay, can you clarify for that for me, Donna? What is best for me to focus on for work? And are you saying, is it a change in daily activity, or do I need to change a daily activity to focus on something different for work? Try to be more specific on that one for me. All right, Beth, what affirmations can I say to get through this transformation part of my life? Beth McFadden, here you go, love. Sending you lots of love. I'm gonna send you a little Reiki too, okay? I am aligned. I am aligned with the soul level version of who I am. I am aware of who I am and where I am going at all times. And I can access my confidence in this at all times. I am brave. I am resilient. And I am a guide for all of those who came before me and will come after me. Let me know how those are feeling and resonating for you, Beth. All right, Paula. Hello, Laura. The universe asked me to read the Akashic Records books and focus on that, but I don't know what I should be doing with that. It seems it is blocking my new business and giving it a new spiritual turn, but I don't know exactly what I should be doing. Okay, so you just read the books on the Akashic Records and you're trying to figure that out. I mean, to be honest with you, this is just from me. This isn't from the records. But to be honest with you, you know, the books are great. And I mean, as I said earlier, I love reading. I mean, I had like 15 books started at a time. But the records are truly experiential. They are truly experiential. I had like all of the perfect data for the records, and I just had to do it. Like I had to be in the space and experience it and play with it and practice with it in order to get good at it and in order for it to feel natural and to have very clear confidence as to what's coming through and, you know, what I was receiving. But let me tune into them and see what they say, okay? So I don't know if you're using universal energy in other ways, but they're saying, you know, it's just universal energy. So they don't want you to like focus too specifically on the Akashic Records per se, because it's Akashic energy. So it's available to us in many different forms and from different angles. So are there other ways that you are working to channel or use your energy? Because what they're saying to me is that you need to practice intuitive work in general. You know, they want you to practice the intuitive piece of how to receive messages, how to tune into your body and your energy field and your emotions, and how to tune into all of that to be able to get the most out of this space. I can tell you from a conscious standpoint that I really was able to, I joined Kara Melendi's Spiritual Goddess Sisterhood because she took us into the records every single week. And I needed the accountability to do that, but I also needed practice and somebody else guiding me. So also being able to allow guidance, whether it's from a mentor or whether it's from your spiritual team, right? And asking, like calling them in and asking them to kind of be with you in this journey to help you identify exactly where you're supposed to be directing this work. So let me see, you're channeling all the time. Okay, how can I increase my intuition? As Pamela. Oh, that's Pamela. Okay, I'll get back to you, Pamela. Are you frantically channeling, or are you channeling in a relaxed way? Like, are you receiving things in like a, I am just totally open and receptive to whatever comes through and it doesn't matter? And, you know, are you kind of in that feminine energy? Are you feeling more frantic and like desperate about it? Like, I need some feedback. I need some feedback, because that's going to interfere for you. So let me know about that, Paula. Just going back, my friends, there's a lot of questions. Okay, Tammy, Looking for my life purpose. I mean, this doesn't really surprise you, Tammy. Like they show me you like singing from the rooftops. Just like I said I wanted to do earlier. Oh, look at that. That you're really just going to lift people up with your voice. That you, there is a vibration and an energy to your voice, your singing voice, that they're showing me has a huge, like a very wide range of connection and impact. And they're showing me you like on the rooftops, but they're not showing the rooftops now. They're showing me like the top of the mountain, because that's how wide your range goes. And to trust that when you sing, that vibration really extends in a very wide, to a very wide area of geographic area. And even energetically to, I mean, people you've never met, never seen, things like that. That the energy that you embody when you are singing is palpable and puts you in a vibration that helps you manifest what it is you want in your life. So that the more often you do that, the more you are literally calling in the energy of what you want to attract or that life that you want to manifest. So really what they're saying too is when you sing, they want you to sing alone. I'm sure you do, but they're saying, you know, when you sing by yourself, really listen to the cues you're receiving from your physical body at the time that you're actually in the vibration of your singing. They're saying you can bring instruments into it as well to assist with the harmonies, because there's a lot of creativity within you that you haven't fully encompassed or explored yet in that area of your life, which may surprise you because I know you sing a lot. Let me know if you have questions or feedback on that. Yeah, Paula, that's what they're saying to me, is that frantic energy. So thank you for letting me know that. Okay. Still scrolling. Thanks for being so active, guys. I so appreciate you being here. All right. Oh, I can't scroll back any further. It's mad at me. So you guys have to let me know if I'm missing any. Okay, I'm going to Catherine. Messages happen to me when I'm close to someone, been like that since I was young. In tune when someone needs something. Okay, that's not a question. It's just, okay. Mimi, would you be able to remove any blocks I might have? If you guys posted before Mimi, please let me know so I can attend to you, okay? I have about 20 minutes left before I have to sign off. So Mimi, would you be able to remove any blocks I may have? So I'm gonna send you some Reiki and tune into your chakras. You guys aren't familiar with the chakras. They are the energy centers that run up and down our spine. We actually have over 114 energetic nodes that connect to our energy centers in our physical bodies, but the 7 primary chakras run along the base of our spine. So when we have those aligned, our breath, our prana, our life force energy flows more easily and smoothly. So let me just tune in, because a lot of times we can get feedback from the physical body or from the chakra system as to where we might have some blocks. I'm feeling a really strong root chakra. You got a little bit of restlessness in your sacral. Your solar plexus is strong. Your heart is strong. Your throat is strong. Your third eye is fairly cleared, but your crown is pretty blocked. So let me just work with this energy a little bit. I'm really just going to dampen down your sacral energy a little bit because it's a bit overactive. I felt a lot of heat and warmth coming off of that. So it's a bit overactive. That's right underneath your belly button, and that's our space of creativity, and it's our space of belonging and sexuality. And just being able to kind of redistribute that energy. We're not getting rid of it. We're just redistributing it, okay? So that it can just be kind of transmuted and transformed by your physical body and by your energy system. And your crown is a big one. That's where your biggest block is. And they're saying that your block is fear. They're actually really wanting me to close up your crown right now because they're saying that it's been open and that you haven't been super settled or comfortable with receiving what's coming through with an open crown. Like it makes you feel very vulnerable and you're feeling like you need to have a little bit more of a sense of safety. And your root chakra is very, very solid right now. So they want you to kind of rely on that as your foundation and know that you can kind of rest into the safety and security of yourself and your own physical body and kind of establish that and appreciate it first before you open up that crown again. So I hope that helps you. It's now closed up and you are like this contained energy system that I want you to really get to know and be more comfortable navigating before you open up that crown again, because it was a little bit too, I think, stimulating for you, okay? Okay, Elizabeth, I need, what can you sense about me? More specific question, if you can. Same with you, Tristan, although I think I saw you post later, so you might have a more specific question. Christina Bowers, more specific, please. Okay. Okay, so Cindy Ocker, I'm gonna tune into you because you have this nice specific question, thank you. I would love to know what you see about me. My mom has been struggling for a year now. She is 90 and a very positive person, but declining. It's hard when I'm 4 hours away. My husband is also dealing with health issues. Okay, so I'm gonna tune into mom, okay? And I'll answer that question for you. All right, Dawn, I just saw your message about different county in Iowa before moving south, so I will see if they have anything else to say about that. So Cindy, all right, so we're gonna tune into mom here, okay. Your mom is, I like her energy. She's kind of spunky. She's got a lot of life force energy, your mother. At a soul level, she's very, very happy. She's very content. She loves you very, very much. She feels very connected to you regardless of the fact that you're at a distance. And she really receives the benefit of your energy being in her life just by being in her life. That the concrete pieces of being there to help her, it doesn't impact her negatively, is what they're saying. That she gets such benefit. You know, they're saying that that's really more you, that you have this, you know, this frantic energy again is coming up. You have this more like this frantic feeling of, I got to do something, I got to do something, I got to help, right? And you're focused on like the how and the steps and the tactics and, you know, the ways to get there. But your mom doesn't care so much about that at a soul level because she feels very connected to you and she's receiving such benefit from you. And that you need to trust that that impact is occurring whether you're physically present or not. Would that make day-to-day things easier? Your energy in her life is where the power is. Let me see what else they have to say about this. I just see that she's very spunky and happy. Like she's kind of like dancing around, like in her, like at a soul level, right? Like dancing around, and just really, really feeling very fulfilled and content. So let me know if you have more specifics about that, but that's what's coming through. And Dawn, let me just see if they say anything about a different county in Iowa before moving south, or anything about where you're moving. I don't know. Are you in a house now and you're moving to an apartment? They're really invested in you making a choice to be somewhere temporarily, because ultimately they want you down south. So they keep showing me an apartment complex. This was coming up earlier too. They keep showing me in an apartment complex, or like a condo complex or something like that. But they want you to go in with the intention of it being temporary. Okay. And they, whether it's you're signing a lease or you're purchasing something or what have you, that they really want you to make sure that whatever contract you're signing, you're going in as you sign your name with the intention of this is just another step towards moving south. They're also saying that they prefer you to move to a county south of where you are. It's almost like symbolically, like they want you to start moving south. They're definitely saying they want you to move south. Okay. All right, can't go back up again. It blocks me. Okay. All right, Julie Perkins, feeling super stuck and in panic, then sick and depressed. What next steps do I take to find a new job and place to live? I haven't worked for 2 months. Where to look for jobs, or what I need to know for my best and highest good. Okay. So really the question is about the job. So I'm going to focus on the job. Okay. Let me just tune into that, Julie. Do you garden? Do you do anything with plants? Because they're showing me you like in a greenhouse, like a nursery or something, like working with plants, like repotting, moving plants around, selling plants. I don't know if you do anything with plants or like botany or something like that, but that's what they're showing me, because they're showing me that you're going to be more peaceful and relaxed in that space. You're going to be surrounded by nature. So I don't know if that aligns for you at all, or if that's something where you have an interest, but they are showing me you very happily shifting these like potted plants around, putting them on carts and like dragging them back and forth. Yeah, 100%. You're like planting. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, or if that's symbolic for something else. So let me know what comes through for you, because it's also very important for you to let me know how you interpret this, because no, nothing at all. No interest in plants. No, doesn't align at all. Okay. Is this something that you can think about for a minute in terms of planting, right? Because a lot of times the records will communicate to us, any kind of intuitive work can communicate through symbols. So does the action of, because they show me you actually planting in the earth. So what seeds are you planting right now? Just symbolically. In the area of work. And it's like I said, they're going to bring through what they want you to and need you to integrate at the time. So this could have nothing to do with work. This could have to do with you planting seeds now for something to grow. So let me know what's coming through for you around that idea of planting seeds. Let me just tune in, because I don't think they're done quite yet. Yeah, they're really showing me that you really need to ground, and being in touch with the earth, working with the earth is obviously the best way to ground. And I think that's why they're showing me this very specific image of, they just keep showing me you on your knees in a garden planting, because they want you to be in touch with the soil. They want you to be grounded, that you're way too kind of up here or caught in the flurry, right? And the more contact that you can have with the physical earth, the more that's going to discharge a lot of those ions that are kind of firing randomly in a lot of different places with this panic and with this depression and, you know, kind of the density that you've been feeling. Okay. All right, I can probably do 2 more, guys. So I'm just going to grab what I can take. Okay. All right, Dave Seeley. I need a job to finance myself. Getting started in my goal as a medium. Will a job come soon? I've interviewed for a few jobs. Nothing's presented itself yet. What do I need to do? Okay. All right, let me check in, Dave. The universe is definitely making space for you to use your mediumship. They don't want you to distract from that or be distracted from that. They don't want whatever job you get to be a distraction from that. So they're saying that any job that's requiring long hours, any job that is, I guess let me just see what specifically they're saying. Yeah, because they don't want they don't want you to get too much in your masculine energy, like too structured and too masculine, like task oriented, because they feel like that's going to distract you from your mediumship, and they want you to be grounded. But they're really, what they're showing me is like 3 days a week. Like they really like you to be doing something. Like if you're going to do 9 to 5 hours, they want you to do them 3 days a week, because they really want the space to be able to work through you and with you. And they don't want that to be limited by whatever job it is that you take. So I don't know if any of these jobs that you've applied to offer you any flexibility in terms of schedule, but they're saying that the more flexible, the better. And that's the one that you need to go to, because they really want space available for. And they're saying that job is within a 3-month period of time. So like come 3 months, by then you will definitely have it. Okay. So one more question here. I just see Julie said, what is blocking me from moving forward? So let me just tune into that, because we were talking about you planting the seeds. So what is blocking you from moving forward? I'm watching you right now because you're still in the garden. I don't know why they want you in the freaking garden, but they do. It's the grounded stuff. There's definitely a boulder there that you're digging up with your trowel and moving it to the side. I'm just watching it right now to see what they're doing. It's definitely in your heart space. There's like a hardening in your heart space that is preventing you from moving forward, that you're not feeling very trusting or open to the love or the help, and it's all rooted in feeling unworthy, you know, and not feeling worthy enough to receive. and that this is probably why they're telling me about the garden, is that they're saying that tuning in to Mother Earth energy is going to be a better place for you to start, because it's safe and it's nurturing and it's grounding and it's full of love, and that really connecting to Mother Earth energy, either through inner child work or really doing some meditations that call in that earth energy, imagining yourself rooted into Mother Earth, really connecting to that warm, almost hot, like anything that has to do with warmth and comfort. You know, they really want to draw you towards, because they really feel like you need that groundedness and that security. And that you're going to know, they're saying that you're going to know when you're kind of activated, which they're bringing me right again to this image of this seed like growing into a plant, right? So I don't know if you're still here, Julie. I will send you a private message so you can tune into that again. Okay, so last question here, guys. Maybe the self-work I'm doing is planting seeds for the future. I did work with clay yesterday. Oh, see there. Yes, exactly. Because that's what they're showing me, is you literally playing with the dirt, like malleable earth material is what they're showing me. And they're definitely, like, it's funny because as I was listening to this just now and hearing what they were saying about you pulling up the Mother Earth energy, I was like, see, this is the kind of thing where having more time, depending on the person, you're going to really get. And usually when that happens, it's a much bigger message, right? Usually when it takes longer time to develop, or they're really trying to show me this huge drawn out thing with a lot of specificity, you need a lot more time, because the message is just big, and it's very, it's like a light switch kind of level of shifting. So yeah, I think you're onto something there. The self-work you're doing is planting seeds for the future. I mean, 100%, of course it is. But I also hear that the seeds that you're planting in your mind are negative. I don't know if you're very self-deprecating, but it's saying that you really need to be conscious of using loving words to yourself. Like, they're all tuning me in again to this Mother Earth energy. They're saying, talk to yourself as if you were like the ideal maternal mother energy, you know, and how would you speak compassionately and delicately to yourself? And they really want you to use that, okay? All right. All right, Emma Hallsgrove. I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly, but thank you for being here. And thank you for asking your question. What do I need to do to get my business moving? Oh, they're saying you need to scream, my friend. You need to use your voice. You're not putting yourself out there enough. That's what they're saying. You need to be bolder. You need to be confident. You need to come on with this presence that is, I believe firmly in who I am and what I do and where this is going, to have a very clear vision of exactly where your business is going to be, where you want it to be, where you feel it to be. Like manifestation work, kind of. Like, feel into that, embody that. You need to open your mouth more and speak about those things that you know are going to piss people off and trigger them. Because we are here to trigger people. And that's what they're saying. Go trigger some people. Get out there and speak very authentically, because there are those people out there that are going to hear your message and be drawn to you. I don't know what you do for your business. It doesn't really matter. But what they're saying is that the more authentic you are in it and step up confidently and boldly and owning it, that's what's mostly getting in your way. Okay. Oh, good. Emma, does that help you? I couldn't tell if you were still online. I can never tell. So, yay. All right. So, guys, thanks for being here. I love you guys for being so connected. And I'm sorry if I didn't get to you. Thank you for writing your questions. I have a free group called Room for Healing on Facebook. You can join that. and you'll get notified of wherever I do readings like this. I also have a course starting in 2 days on Thursday. Kick ass, my friends. It's a beta course. So it's like by far the cheapest way to work with me. And the more that I bang out these details, this course is jammed. I mean, it has so much in it. And you're going to learn how to open your Akashic Records. You're going to learn how to use your Akashic Records. You're going to download steps from the Akashic Records so that you have a specific personalized roadmap for exactly how to get answers to your questions yourself, to get yourself out of where you feel stuck or funky or these patterns or cycles that keep showing up for you in your life, in your health, in your relationships, right? And this is the package that I needed and wanted 3.5 years ago when I started healing. And I put it all together into one because I've tried almost everything out there. And some of the stuff I didn't like and some of the stuff I loved. And the Akashic Records, I'll tell you, completely changed my life. So I'll put that link in the comments too. You guys can read about it and see if it's something that interests you. We start in 2 days, so definitely check that out shortly if you can. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to continue to ask any questions about the records in particular in the comments. I won't be doing readings through the comments, but you can certainly ask questions and I'm happy to answer. And have a fabulous day. I'll see you all so soon. All right, bye.